Hello, everyone, and welcome to Birdview's weekly workshop. This is our first workshop in our reporting month of June. So we'll be going over the different areas of reporting within Birdview during this entire month. So our weekly workshops take place every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern and 10 a.m. Pacific. So we cover a different topic each week. And you can register for each workshop or several events together under the events tab within, on our website, or you can even look at the link that's on the screen right now. As I mentioned, you also have the ability to register for other events like our monthly webinars. And you can also register for a single workshop as well as multiple workshops together with one click. So you don't have to jump into the system and register every week. I encourage you all to join as many of these sessions as possible so that you can learn tips and tricks on how to make the most of Birdview for your work. With each session, we start off with a demo on the topic that we are covering, and we then use the last 10 minutes to go over any questions that any of you may have. So please feel free to send in your questions in the chat. There's a Q&A section as well, or simply raise your hand virtually, and we'll get to those questions once we're done with the demo part of the workshop. All right, so our topic today is an introduction to reporting and dashboards. So we'll start with understanding the different areas within the system that generate reports. We'll then dive deeper into the report generator, access the common reports that are available, as well as learn how to generate your own reports. We also have a dashboard specific to the report generator. So we'll go over how to build this dashboard out individually. And we'll then take a look at the financial reports within the financial or billing module within the system. And finally, we'll take a look at the business intelligence dashboards that we have within the system as well. Once we're done with that, we'll go over what's good to know about the reporting functionality within the system, just to help you keep track of projects better. All right, so I'm going to jump to my demo account here. So what are the different areas that generate reports within the system? So the first one is the very obvious reports tab that we have right here, where you can look at common reports. You can even customize your reports through the reports tab. We also have the dashboard tab that's connected to our reports tab. So if you want to make several reports that you've generated or even common reports available on one page, where you can take a look at everything together, the dashboard is the area that will be most beneficial to you. We also have the billing or financial module within the system. So within each project or task for that matter, if you click on details, right here at the top, you have this little dollar sign here, which is where you will find the billing module that's going to give you financial specific reports. And all of these areas we will jump into a little bit deeper in a few minutes as well. We also have the business intelligence piece. So that's the other area where you can generate, where you can view reports in the system. And finally, we also have the resources tab. We have the workload management piece, which also gives you information about the reporting on resource management, estimated hours, and actual hours that are being tracked in the system as well. All right, so let's start off with our reports tab right here. So you have two options. You have custom reports and then you have common reports. Now, common reports are those that have already been pre-built within the system. We have 5 within our system. So you don't have to do anything to get this information as long as you are tracking your projects and team members and time within the system. Most of the information in these reports is going to automatically be generated. So for example, let's say the time logs report, if I click on it, it's taking into consideration all of the time logs that have been added to the system. You can look at it based on summary by the person that has tracked it, or you can take a look at it based on the project, on the customer, or even the category of projects that we have within the system. You have a filter in here. So right now we're looking at information or data for this month, but you can look at any of these options that you have here. You also have the option to put in a custom date range. So all of these reports that you have within the comment section work pretty much the same way, but obviously give you different information. One good thing to keep in mind is that the payroll report is a report that's only available within the Birdview PSA enterprise version of the system. So if that's not the version that you currently have, you will not be able to see this report. Similarly, with the billing report, you do need to have billing information within the system in order for that to be viewed within this page. All right, let's move on to our custom reports that you can build. So while common reports are already available, if you have a requirement that's not already fulfilled by any of those common reports, you do have the ability to create your own. Now, I do have a few here that I've created within my account. But if you had to create your own, you'd simply click on this plus sign or this add report option right here. And you're going to see this pop up that's going to help you build this report yourself. So the first option here is for you to give your report a name. You can then go ahead and pick the data source. So where is this information in this report coming from? Is it coming from projects or activities, tasks, issues? This entire list here, this is from where you can generate your data. You can also decide how you want to view this data when it comes to this report. Are you looking to view it in a table, a bar chart, a pie chart, or just a metric? These two boxes that we have right here, the first one is make available on dashboard. So you can only add reports to a dashboard if you have this toggled on, because there will be some reports which you do not want to have viewed or be added to that dashboard, in which case you don't have to toggle this on. The include archived projects is also an option. So within the system, you do have the ability to archive a project that has been completed or that is no longer in use. And so if you'd like to add those projects to the data in the reports that you are creating, you can include archive projects as well. And finally, you would just have to go ahead and add your fields. There is a list of fields that are available to you to add into your report, including any custom fields that you might have created within the system. So those are options for you to add as well. So you can go ahead and add those fields, hit save and run, and your report is going to show up. Now, because we have this workshop just for a 30-minute period, we won't have time to create a report from scratch. However, this is what a report like that could look like for you within the system. So this is an A/B baseline report that I have created within my account. I'm able to see all of my projects. I have grouped them by portfolio. I can see the start dates and end dates, the project baseline, the project creation date. So I have the ability to edit this as well if I need to. If I click on that edit option right here, it's going to take me back to this page where I can change the selections that I've made. And this is what it looks like when I add my fields. So I can group fields by a certain field as well. So as I mentioned to you, you can see all of my projects grouped by the portfolio name in the system. I also have the option to hide any fields that I don't want to appear at a later stage. And I can also move these around to change the order in which you see those details in this in the report as well. And then I just go ahead and hit save, and those changes will be reflected. The other option is also to use filters within the system. So if I need to look at just a certain project or maybe just the start date or the end date, I'm able to filter through. And I'm also able to export a report that I create. So if I want to export to PDF, Excel, or CSV, I have those options as well. Let's say I want to export to PDF, I simply click on that and my report is going to be downloaded for me to take a look at. All right, so that is what our report generator looks like. Yasir, I can see your question. We will take a look at all of the questions at the end of the session. So please stay on hold for that answer. Thank you. All right, so let's take a look at the dashboard now. So the dashboard is basically a compilation of all of the reports that you could have created or that are already available within the system. So right now my dashboard is empty, but all I need to do is add those widgets. So I can simply click on the plus sign. I have a few reports here that I'm able to add to my dashboard. So I'm just going to add them all. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to build it out accordingly. So I don't want to see this up front. I want to move it to the side. So I have the ability to resize and move things around. Let's see, there might be some filters here. Yep. So I can delete something if I don't want to see it. Let's say I don't want to see this one. I can take it out, or I can simply change the size of each of these dashboards. Basically build it out to a view that I'm comfortable to take a look at. Each individual team member has the ability to create these widgets for themselves. And you can use some of the filters in here as well. So let's say you want to see all reports that are connected to projects within specific portfolios. You have that option, or you want to just see projects, dashboards, reports that are connected to a specific project. That's also an option for you. This is a great option to have if this is something that you take a look at on a regular basis. So if every day I come into work and I need to see, how many hours have been logged, how many hours of time have been logged by my team for this specific day, I can just come in here and I have a quick look at what I'm seeing right now. All right, so let's move on now to the next area where we can report or generate reports, and that is the financial or the billing section of the system. So each project under details will have this little dollar sign up here. And if I click on that, I'm able to see my financial section, so the financials for this project. Now there are two tabs that are going to give you reports. One is the overview tab, and then one is the targets tab. So let's start off with the targets tab. So even within this tab, you're going to be seeing a number of different things. So one is, let's say I have an internal project. I'm not necessarily billing a client for that work. And so I'm not interested in looking at revenue or profit. I'm just interested in looking at my costs or my budget. So if I toggle the billable option off, then I'm going to only be able to see the budget on that project. And under budget, I'm able to see what my labor cost is, what my expenses are, and therefore what is my total cost. And if there's any variance, we're able to see that too. Now, this information is automatically calculated. You do have to add things like hours, for your team members. They do need to track their time in the system. But when it comes to an overall calculation of that labor cost, it's going to automatically calculate for you. Let's say this is a billable project. You still have a couple of options. Is it a flat fee that you are charging your client, or are you doing it based on time and material? So if you are using a flat fee option, then you're only going to see your profits as well as your budget. Under profits, you're going to be able to select whether or not you want to see a percentage or an amount, and you can state what that profit should look like, and it's going to tell you what that calculation is going to look like as well. And if you add time and material as a billing type, then you are going to be able to see the revenue as well. So you can look at billable labor, billable expenses, and total billable too. Now, if I jump over to the overview tab, this is more like a total or overall dashboard for all of the financials within the system. So I'm not able to make selections here, but it is calculating all of this information based on selections or additions I've made to the project in other areas. So for example, your actual cost, actual billable, estimate to completion, and at completion for cost and billable is all tracked here. And if I hover over any of these fields, I'm able to see how that calculation was completed. So your estimate to completion for cost is calculated based on adding your estimate to completion labor cost as well as your estimate to completion expenses. So I can hover over any of these and it's going to give me what that calculation looks like and how we've gotten to it. On the right-hand side here, you do get an overview of the targets as well. And here at the bottom, you're able to look at your expenses, labor cost, billable labor, and billable expenses, and what those actuals look like, as well as what your estimates look like. Again, all of this is automatically calculated. So when you're looking at estimate for labor cost, for example, you're looking at how many hours you have assigned to your team members, multiplied by what their hourly rates are or their salary is. And when you're looking at actuals for labor cost, you're looking at how much time they've tracked, multiplied by what that hourly rate is. So that's basically what your cost is so far, and this is what your estimate will be at completion. So all of this information, again, is all real time and gets automatically updated when your team is tracking their time in the system. So this is an overview on the financial reporting that we have within Birdview. All right, so the last couple of things that we have, one is I want to quickly jump to the resources tab here to show you what the resource workload report looks like. Now, this is one of the few workable reports within the system, so you can add time here, you can kind of estimate time here if you want to, you can track time as well. But this is a great overview of all of the resource hours, actual hours, hours left, as well as estimated hours within the system. And finally, we have our business intelligence section, where you will have a few pre-built dashboards within the system. Now, our topic next week is going to cover each of these pre-built dashboards in detail, so we won't go over it today. However, in addition to this, we do have a team that works specifically to build these dashboards out. So if there is a requirement that you have that's not part of those pre-built dashboards that you see within your system, I would suggest reaching out to us. We can maybe scope it out. We might even have some examples to show you, and then we can go ahead and build it within your account as well. The options for BI dashboards are quite limitless. I have to say, from our experience, we've built several dashboards for several clients for the last few years, and we have a library of all of those, which amounts to over 500 dashboards already. So if there is a requirement, please do reach out to us and we can take a look at building something for you. All right, so as you can see, there's a number of different areas within the system that's going to give you reporting on your projects and your portfolios. Now, some of the things that are good to keep in mind is, so the first thing is that all of our reports are real time. So if I'm here within the business intelligence section, all of this information that I'm seeing is real time. If I jump into the financial system, it's real time. The only exception would be if you are in the report generator and you maybe use a filter or you edit a report and you have to select the run report option. That would be the only time when it won't be absolutely real time. However, with all of the other areas in the system, you will be getting real time access to your reports and your dashboards. The second thing, and one of the most important things, is that reporting could be a very sensitive topic, especially when we're looking at things like financials on a project. And so you might want to restrict certain users from accessing reports or a bunch of reports together. You do have the ability to do that. So I'm just going to jump to company settings to show you how and at what level as well. So under your access level, let's pick an access level here. I'm just going to select this one. You do have 4 options here. So you have access common reports, access report generator, access business intelligence, and access billing information. So as long as you toggle these on, the team members that have this access level are going to be able to access those reports. If someone is able to access common reports, it's important to keep in mind that they will not be able to generate their own reports unless you select the access generate reports. So common reports only gives them the ability to look at common reports. Common reports also includes your resource workload view. So you cannot pick one or the other in that specific case. If someone is viewing common reports under the report section, they can also view the report under the workload section. However, if you want someone within your team to not have access to the business intelligence dashboards, only you can restrict them, as well as wanting to restrict them from accessing the billing or the financial reporting within the system. All right, so that's what we have in terms of our demo part of the system today. I can see that there are a few questions here. So I'm going to start off with these, and if anyone else has questions, please continue to add them, and we can get them all answered, hopefully within our before the end of the session. All right, so Yasser, your question is, can I create a report for my PMs to know which projects are not baseline, wants a summary and details of those projects? Yes, that is an option for you to be able to do within the report generator. If you can send us an email, if let's say you are having issues creating that or you need a little bit more guidance, please do send in a request. I will be sharing our email address with you, and someone from our customer success team will get back to you and we can help you build that out. I have another question from Yasser, is the BI data refresh rate, how quickly it shows up if any data changed on the team. So Yasser, I think in terms of the business intelligence, it depends on the version that you have and what's part of your settings in terms of an update. BI would be the only area where it's not going to update every second or millisecond. But again, if you can send over an email with that question, someone from our customer success team will find out what that refresh rate is for your account, and we can let you know. If you do require a change to that refresh rate, we can take care of that as well. A third question that I have is, can the financial reporting only be visible to certain roles, as is based on hourly rates, salary information in our case? Yes, so as I just described here, you can create an access level and then go ahead and restrict that billing information from getting added to the view of certain team members. All right. Do we have any other questions that anyone would like to add? All right, so our topic for next week is Birdview's out-of-box business intelligence dashboard. So as I mentioned already, we will go over each of the dashboards in the business intelligence module in more detail. And on the 20th of June, we'll talk about a few of our client success stories and how business intelligence dashboards within Birdview have given them the insight they need to run successful projects. So once again, you can register on our website or simply use the link that's on the screen right now. Also, again, just a reminder that you do have the option to sign up for several workshops at one time. In the report, one time within the reporting month itself as well. Thanks everyone for joining today. I hope that this session was helpful. Your suggestions are always welcome. So if you have any recommendations for topics that you would like us to cover in the future, please do send in your responses to our success email. Yasser, my request is to also use the same email for your questions on the BI information. And any other help you need with the report generator as well. All right, thanks everyone. Have a great day and see you next week. Bye-bye.